Hello, my name is Shudley and welcome back for another episode of The Red Galaxy in Aurora 4X. And in previous episode we did do the survey of our home system here, which didn't take too long. I mean, the geo survey. We still need to do the jump point surveys, and that's going to take a bit longer because we don't have the required sensors for that yet. But we do need to finalize the target design now, I think, because we did get the tractor beam. Place that in. It does take a fair bit of room there, but we've still got surprising amounts of it available. Did I add in the radar here? I did. Right, and then I got the sensors already, so at least the target will have a decent capacity to spot enemy ships. Not necessarily run away from them, because the speed is going to be relatively low, but at least it can take a few hits with its armor rating of 3. Right, so I suppose I don't think I'm going to need the cargo shuttle bay on this, because the cargo shuttle bays are mostly going to be on the containers themselves, so we can just leave the containers on orbit of some planet and then they can do the unloading on their own, if need be. So I was going to add in a bit more fuel for this. That was one of the things that I was planning on. Oh right, and deployment time. If we go for 48 months, how bad would that... Oh, still... Okay, what about if we increase the armor rating? Can we go for 5? We could. It's going to increase the build time quite a bit. And also, I mean, it does slow down a little bit, but that slowdown is going to be there. Actually, you know what? If we go back to 3, can we add in another engine instead? I reckon we could. We could. I mean, we need to take out something. If we take one of the engineering spaces, for example, and add in a tiny bit of fuel storage instead. Tiny is going to be too big, so we're going to have to use fighter fuel storage is over there. So it's 1,024,000 liters of fuel. Gives a nice range of about 320 billion kilometers. It's pretty good. Deployment time of 48 months, so that's 4 years. I mean, technically it won't need to worry about the deployment time all that much, but as I said before, I like to kind of roleplay that it does matter. Actually, I just realized the max repair is currently 100. It's probably the tractor beam, so how about we add in a bit more supply points instead, so we can repair it twice. Of course, that is only going to be damaged in battle, so if there's battle, then, well, tractor beam is probably not the biggest of concerns. But I still like the idea of having some extra maintenance points there to repair some stuff. There we go, so I think that design is more or less ready. Now, we are going to have different sizes of tugs, so this is basically the smallest size. Then there's going to be something that is maybe about 25 tons or 1,000 tons, then 50, and then 100. So I think we're going to have like in 4 tiers. And each one will have varying effectiveness, essentially. Right, so that actually dropped the range quite a bit, but it still has massive range. So that's not going to run out of fuel anytime soon, I hope. Anyway, so did we get the... No, we're still working on that one. And the industry, we started working on the construction factories and research facilities. Actually, what I think I'm going to do next is I'm going to set up another research facility to be done. So actually, you know, I'm just going to increase this to 2. And then I'm going to add in 20 mines to be made instead. Because we simply... Oh, it's 22 there. It should be 20. There we go. Alright then. Let's, well, I wouldn't say unpause, but start taking the time once again. Now then, so once we get the jump point theory, we're gonna have to research the jump point sensors, or the gravitational sensors, and then we can redesign the survey ship into a new type. And we can then start thinking about our potential jump point engines and such. I mean, we can at least survey where the jump points are and start figuring out from there. Research completed. We got the jump point theory. So, power propulsion... Okay, oh no, that's in survey or sensors. Gravitational survey sensors 2000. With 2 research labs, we should be able to get that in relatively quickly. And speaking of research facilities, we're going to get one in about 2.5 years, maybe. A bit sooner than that, I think. But we are getting one soon enough. And then we'll probably start researching something else. Like, xenoarchaeology stuff might not be a terrible idea, or actually, I don't think we have the troop transport stuff either. But we might want to start doing those, just so once we start making the xenoarchaeology teams and such, that we can then actually transport them over. Because I presume those are not available from the start. The same goes for the colonial stuff. Or the colony stuff. There we go, research completed. We got the sensors. Did we actually... No. We're not far off. Certainly not far off from getting that, but... Yes, so we got the sensors now. We may need to start figuring out either the jump gate construction stuff, which is stabilization modules, which is rather time consuming, but might not be a bad idea in the long run. On the other hand, maybe first we may want to have the engines. So let's assign one for you. Squadron size, then jump drive efficiency added to the queue, and I believe we need to have the radius as well. So that's going to take you quite a while to complete all that. And then we'll go to logistics. Actually, is that in ground combat? Or do we start with the transport stuff? We might have... No, actually, I think we start with it. No, true transport way standard. So we need to start on that one. Logistics. Actually, I suppose we don't need the true transport to be the first one. We can get the logistic stuff for cryogenic transports first. It's going to be a bit faster, and then we'll start designing our colonial containers. Colonist containers. Cryogenic containers, even. I suppose that's the best word so far. Right, so now that we got the sensors, how about we go in here and take the red star and copy class. We'll rename this to Red Star B. And then we'll get rid of the geological survey sensor and add in the gravitational survey sensor. And the size stays the same and all that, but of course we won't be able to rebuild this immediately, so we're going to have to retool the shipyard. We'll leave the Explorer 1 in there for the time being anyway. Now this is not jump capable. We'll need to figure out some sort of ship that will be able to jump our Explorers, which is probably going to be our carrier design actually. At some point anyway. Right, so you got pretty much everything that you need, I reckon. So let's go to the shipyards. And I'm guessing we can't construct the... No, we can't construct that, so we are going to have to retool to the B. And it's going to take some time. Well, a few months. There's not too massive effort to do that. Should be getting the construction factories completed right about now-ish. Oh, we got the shipyard modified first. Okay, so we need a tiny bit more. It's okay. Right, it's 2 or 3 more of these build cycles, and we'll get that. Which means another research facility as well. Right then, so the shipyard is now completed, so how about we build shipyard fleet. Oh right, I should probably select that one. Right, so one of these, it's going to take a while. I suppose one thing that I, especially later on, I can do is I can start pre-building some of the stuff. Or I mean, technically I could retool the old one, but no, I want to have something that is capable of doing the geological surveys as well. So we'll create a new ship. And let's just keep it. Oh, there we go. We got the research lab now, so we are going to assign the second one for the jump point or the jump engine technologies, which is going to actually speed up quite nicely with the bonus. Although the logistics researcher has increased their bonus quite significantly as well now, so that's going to be good. Right, are these going to be? They're not going to be completed at the same day. Not quite, but close. And hey, we got 95 construction factories now, so it's over 1,000, or over 1,100 actually, build points per year. That's not too bad. We don't have a massive maintenance facilities capacity though, so we are going to have to build more soon. Like, we can... The jump survey ship, we can facilitate that still. But if we're going to build a third one, we won't be able to. So that will cause some troubles in the long run. There we go, we got the Red Star B. So, shipyard fleet. I'm actually going to set up a new survey fleet, so create a fleet. Jump survey 1. Just keeping the name simple so it's easy to figure out from the name already what's going on with that particular fleet. We do have a captain already on this, good. So standing orders, survey near survey location, and then refuel at colony if less than 50% fuel. Simple orders, hopefully we can find some jump points here. So that was empty, that was empty. So far no luck. Of course, there are 30 of these. So even though if we... Oh, there we go, that's the first one. Excellent. Right, let's keep on going. Ah, research completed. So we got first thing of the stuff required for the jump engine. Because we do have both jump engines and the gates. Basically, I want to have the jump engines so that I can go into places that I have not explored yet, so that I don't accidentally open a massive gate for the enemies to use, essentially. And then the gates in like safe areas, so that will allow the logistics to go uninterrupted. Right, so we still don't have the jump distance and the drive efficiency, which we are both researching both of those soon enough. So far only one jump point, but we've gone through about half... Oh, there's a second one. So we don't need to worry about adding extras to this system. Oh, and the third one. Oh my. There's actually interesting... Oh, and we got the cryogenic transport. Research. Actually, I should have set up more things to research right away. I'm actually going to start researching the very large fuel storage. And then add in the... maybe the small cryogenic transport. I don't think I need to get the emergency ones quite yet. The large cargo hold is going to be good in the long run, but I don't think we need it right now. We would be able to carry 5 facilities of the regular size, like mines and construction factories and such, in just that one hold, which would be handy. Better cargo shuttles wouldn't be bad either, but we don't need that right now. Salvage module, maybe, but not right now either. Major support per facility, on the other hand, would actually be something that we do want to get. And then we want... oh, right, that's in the ground unit, or ground combat research, the transport bay. But we'll get some of these logistics going, and we're already halfway done with the second research facility. Actually reminds me, I'm going to set up the maintenance facilities, build another 15. That's going to give us a decent bit of capacity, because we only have 5 right now, so that's not a massive capacity, but we can certainly do something about that. Oh, it's going to refuel. Actually, let me pause for a quick moment. How are they doing in terms of deployment time? They're running a bit low, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually send, once you're done with the survey in there, I'm going to overhaul in home, and then you can continue with your work. We might find one more jump point from here. But even if we just go with these 3, they are actually nice and close to our secondary star's orbit. Which is rather interesting. Right, so we got the jump drive efficiency 4, which is good, but could be better. But I mean, if we just need to have some sort of jump engines to, you know, go through, then it will do. Overhaul completed. Okay, you should be going up to surveying again. You should be able to do quite a bit of them at the same time, though. We should be soon done with the constructions, or the research labs, rather. Oh, going to refuel, and there we go. Production of research lab completed. So, research. Actually, I kind of want to start dividing the attention a tiny bit here. We don't have any weaponry yet, so what I think I'll probably have ghost turrets for anti-missile purposes, along with some anti-missile missiles. It's better to have 2-layer defense than just 1 layer, in case one fails. So that's gonna be our anti-missile stuff. Then we are of course using missiles for long-range combat. Then mid-range combat, or like close to mid-range combat, we will probably use the particle beams and lances. And honestly, that's about it for the weaponry, quite frankly. So let's start doing a little bit of the missile stuff, actually. So let's start with the magazine stuff. Create a brochure for that. And feed efficiency, add to the queue. We'll probably get the efficient warheads right away, so we'll actually be able to do something useful with our missiles, which we'll need to design as well at some point. Box launcher explosion chance. Don't need it right now, but at the same time, might as well get it going. Because for the smaller ships, we will use the box launchers most likely. Missile agility. Reload rate wouldn't be bad either. That's about it for the starting weaponry anyway. Or at least we can get started on the research. Right, so that's going to be done in... Oh, it's actually going to take a bit longer than I thought. Alright then. Well, how about we set that to 100%? It's going to be done... Hold on, that completion date... Oh. I see. I have the comma error here. Right, It's probably some Windows update that screwed that over. Right, so that's going to be done... Like, that's the only mine that we are currently making. I suppose I could increase that to 6 instead, to get to 75. A bit extra mining, you know. Research completed. We got the Squadron Jump Boat. Okay. So we got 2 of these available. And then the question is, what sort of jump ship are we going to make? We don't have the shipyard to actually make any right now. What I could, on the other hand, do is I could start increasing the capacity of this. I'm going to go continual capacity until 5,000 tons. It's going to take some time. And it's going to take some resources as well, but we'll be able to start designing some new vessels that will have a capacity of 5,000 tons. And that may be all in one survey ship, quite frankly. which means that, well, we could set up the jump engines there as well. They can be our first layer. I mean, at some point we will have most likely a carrier that will have like the smaller ships which don't need their individual jump engines or anything like that, and we don't necessarily risk everything. Like we can have, let's say, a carrier that has capacity of well, let's say if we are using the same-ish design as we are right now for the base, so we could have 3 geological survey ships and 2 gravitational ships, so 10,000 ton carrier capacity, which is still rather large, quite frankly, so it will require rather substantial carriers. Anyway, so we do need to set up some research. So now that we know what size of ship we are going to be using, at least at the start here, we'll go to the jump engines. We need to go to the size of max ship size 5,000 tons. Probably go with the basic name there for the time being. So yeah, it's going to take a fair bit of things. We'll get that research going, and then we can start designing our new survey ship. That would be in power and propulsion. Get that one going. So that's going to be done in December. Alright then, that's not too bad. Like before the end of the century we'll probably leave the system. Well, not necessarily, but maybe. There were 2 more jump points left. Okay, so we only have 3 jump points in the system. But it's not too bad. Right, so you don't need the standing orders anymore there. I will move you to refuel and begin overhaul. Oh, retirement. Oh no, the power and propulsion researcher retired. Alright then. Well, luckily we can get someone else to continue the work. So it's going to be done in May this time. Slow down a little bit, but I think we're going to work with that. Right, so we're getting the mines done. And I really need to change the Windows settings again between the episodes here. Once I remember, but we're not quite yet done with this episode. Right, orders completed. Do need to do your overhaul still. There we go, we got the mines completed. Now we got the maintenance facilities underway, which is going to increase our total tonnage that we can maintain up to 20,000 tons until we get the logistics research for the extra capacity, which should then increase it to 25,000 tons. So how is the shipyard coming along? It's currently at 2,800 tons. It's still going to take some time. Alright, well, let's keep on going. Overhaul completing. Alright then. Now, to be fair, once we get our all-in-one... Oh, there we go, we got the jump drive. So, survey craft. So, we'll copy the class. Rename this to Red Star Mark II. And this is going to have both of the... Well, first of all, we'll need to set up the jump drive there. Probably set up a second engine. And we're going to have to set in a bit more fuel storage, quite frankly. Set up at least 1 large. I'm going to add in some armor for this one as well, because this is going to go into unknown. And it's going to be dangerous. So I'm going to go for 3 layers. We have barely enough fuel. Okay, so maybe we'll drop down back to 2 and put in some extra fuel instead. Oh, right, and we need to set up the gravitational survey sensors as well. And then we can put in a tiny bit more fuel. The maintenance life has dropped quite a bit. Okay, set up another small maintenance storage bay. Maybe a tiny one as well. There we go, so now we are exactly 5,000 tons. The speed has dropped a little bit, but it will probably be more or less enough to go around at least a little while. Although actually I'm kind of tempted to switch the sensors up, but that would drop our fuel quite a bit. I suppose if we drop this to 18 months, that would give us a bit more extra room, and then we can refit the bigger sensors. Oh, not quite. How much do we need to take out? It would take quite a bit. Annual failure rate is actually quite massive there. I wonder if it would be... You know what, it's probably better to go with the smaller sensors. Means that we'll probably get destroyed easier, but set in an extra engineering bay, just to lower the failure rate rather significantly there. And get rid of that one, and maybe one of these. And still have enough to... Okay, maintenance life for 4 years. Better than nothing. And now it's exactly 5,000 tons. I think we can work with that. And with that, we are actually out of time for this episode. So, if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.